Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and welcome. So today I want to show you guys how I cut out my quilt blocks. These are super fun. I have the first video, this is a playlist, so I have the first video and I'll put it on the end screen, and this is my very first quilt that I've ever made. So I'm bringing you guys along with me on the journey, and in the first video I showed you guys how to cut the blocks. These are Terry Rowland showed me how to do these. Well, I actually watched it over on Kate, The Last Homely House, and I'll make sure to put that link down below for Kate and for Terry Rowland. She saw it over on Terry's channel, so I went over there after I watched Kate's, and these are just so much fun to make. I mean, they really are. Here, let's see if I can show you better. Well, I'll get down on the table and you guys are going to see what I'm doing here. But they're really fun. They use up fabric scraps. They're great for fabric scraps. And I used a couple of jelly rolls. I thought I was going to use just one of the jelly rolls or two, but then I wound up grabbing my other ones that I had, and then I've even had to cut out some fabrics to do this. I'm making a lap quilt. I'm making it for my son, but he's like 6'4", so I had to make it a little bit bigger. I think the measurements I did was 52, 54. I have it written in my journal. Let me go grab that real quick. Okay, so let's see. So I have it. My husband helped me figure out the math because I am really not that good at math, and he is awesome at math. So I was like, it was either him or Google to help me. So 54 inches by 72 inches. So 54 wide by 72 long. And we figured out that's because they're they're 3.5 inches is what I'm cutting them to. And by the time they're sewn with a 1/4 inch seam allowance around it, that's going to be 3 inches. Okay. So that made it so it's 432 squares. So it'll be 18 squares wide by 24 squares tall. So that's the plan. And I think that'll be a nice, comfortable, that's 4 foot, which is 54 inches, and then 72 inches is 6 foot. So 4 foot by 6 foot, and I think that'll be great just to, pull up on your lap just while you're watching TV and stuff like that. I think that'll be a great length for them. And I hope you guys come along with me on this journey, and let's start cutting today. So I just want to show you guys the size. We're going to cut with my square here. So I got it measured out for 3.5. This is my 6.5 inch square ruler, and I'll make sure to put this in the links below, my Amazon links, and you can come check it out. The reason I didn't buy a 3.5 just square, because I figured I'm going to use a 6.5 inch square, and I just taped it off with painter's tape. So I figured this was a cheaper version to do it, because any kind of measurements in between, I could just tape it just like that. Okay, so I will bring you guys down to the table and we'll get started. So we're at the table now, and what I got is my square here that we made. And I'm trying not to get the glare from the ruler here from my lights. I think I moved it enough. Okay, so what I got is I'm going to line it up with the middle square here. I just take one of my little plus signs. See that right there? There's like a little plus. I just line it up. And then you can see, you can cut like that. Like that. These pieces off. And I've been saving these in my fabric box here that I showed you guys how to make these. And I'll make sure to put that on the end screen at the end of this video, the end card, so you guys can come check it out. And this is great just to put scraps and stuff in. So that's why I keep that there. Okay. So now you got that edge cut. And then you have all this. So you flip it like that. Then you take your taped edge, which is right at 3.5. So I just taped it. So this part right here is 3.5. It measures. And then I just line up the edge to this cut edge. Just like that. So you just line it up. Cut there. There. And then there you go. And then I just take these and throw it in my scraps. And I really love the fact that these can be crooked. So you can see they can be off center. Like you got more on this side than this side, and just like that. And that just gives it so much character. So I'm calling it my wonky square quilt here, because I really love the way that the squares are getting all wonky and stuff. Okay, so we got different ones. Let's do one that you guys can see. I don't want to do darker fabric because I think it's harder to see, but I'll show you again. I'm just kind of lining up this cross right here, in the middle, holding firmly, and then cut, flipping it around. I just keep this point pointing that way, line it up, so it just squares it off at perfect 3.5 inches. Cut. Get whatever piece you didn't get. There we go. And then there we go. So now we got ourselves another 3.5. You can see that these are lining it up great. And then I know we're not at that step yet, but these will be when you do sew them together. When we get to that part, you have the flat part here and then the seams. So you would line them up like this. You do the flat and then the seams. Not fun. So you can see they're all going to turn different ways. I just happen to have the middle all the same. That's funny, because all my other ones are not the same. Pretty good. So this is, like I said, a great way to use up your scraps. So much fun to play with. And I am going to continue cutting. And I also still have more to sew for sure. So I'll show you guys, I'll walk you guys over and show you more that I have to sew. I think I'm at 150 squares as of now. And that's not cut. That's like, you know, counting these, the ones I need to all cut. Plus, I'll show you guys the ones I have cut. I have it laid on my back table over there. And yeah, I'll do a little walk around real quick and show you guys. And then I'm going to continue cutting and sewing today. Okay, I'm going to walk you guys over and let's go check out my finished squares over here. So these are the ones that are all cut and ready to get sewn together. And as you could see there, you could see I went ahead and did the log cabin of them together, which is like the seams, the open seams, and then the flat side. So I just kind of laid them out just to see. I kind of want to start with like a lighter up in the corner, lighter colors, and then just work my way around to gradually getting a little bit darker and darker. But don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure how I want to do the layout yet, but I am having fun with this. This is just so much fun. So I hope you guys are getting out your scraps and starting to piece them all together, because it really is really therapeutic and just fun, just going through it and doing the sewing and the cutting and then laying them all out. It's just pretty fun. So I will go ahead and show you guys over to the pieces I need to sew together and then the ones I need to cut still. All right, so over here, these are the ones that I need to sew together. So you can see I got my fabric box right here. This thing is just so handy. They really are handy. And you could just I put my finished pieces, well, not finished, but the ones I cut to size to sew together, I got those in there. And then I got a couple little piles over here that wouldn't fit in. So that's what I need to get sewn together. And what I do it on is my Baby Lock Jubilant sewing machine. And I've had this a couple years now, and I really do love it. It keeps up with everything I need to do. It's got fun, just fancy stitching that I definitely use. I use it throughout fun projects that I do. And it's just a really reliable machine, and it does the job. So I got that. And then I will show you guys now the pieces I need to cut. So these are all the pieces over here that I need to get cut to size, to 3.5 inches. I've got them all sewn and ready to go, and I'm trying to keep them in color, you know, stacks of the same color and stuff like that, the same pattern and everything. Like I said, because I think I want to do that and do a gradual from one lighter color to darker for the layout. I think that would be really fun to play with. What I need to do is I'm going to get my mom. She's a quilter, and her name's Louise. You know, I talk about her on my channel all the time. And like I said, this is my very first quilt that I'm attempting to do, and that's why I'm doing a lap quilt and not a huge quilt. That'll definitely probably happen, I'm sure, and you guys will witness it. But as of now, I'm just going to do a little lap quilt. And she was telling me that if you take a flannel sheet and hang it on like your wall or something, you can take these pieces when they're all cut to size and everything and lay them up on it and have a cool like fabric wall that you can place them out and check out the placing of them and see how you want to lay them out and all that fun stuff. So I want to do that, but I don't know if I have a flannel sheet. I'm thinking batting. I was thinking I'm going to take some batting and lay that out. So that's my plan. Now I need to sit and stitch and cut and get this process going. So I'll see you guys soon. Now I'm going to take you guys over to my sewing machine, and I got everything set up over here. I got all my little pieces cut, and now I am chain sewing together the little block. So I just go ahead and take the 2 end pieces and sew them into the middle. Then I cut off the end one, open it up. Then I take another little 1-inch piece and lay it good side to good. And then I sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance together, just like that. Then I cut the end one and open it up. And I grab another middle piece and then just do it good to good, the right sides to right side. And then just keep doing the process over and over. So over at my ironing station here, I'm just cutting off just the extra threads that were hanging off, and then just ironing down the seams and just getting the squares just nice and pressed. It just makes it a lot easier for when you go over and do the cutting process if you have them all ironed out. So that's all for this video, and I really appreciate you guys. And I hope you found this informational, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.